I've been around y'all for 30 plus years, so I imagine those of you who had media days earlier this week and those who are about to have them soon, you're probably tired of the transfer portal. You're probably tired of, to a degree, talking about name, image, likeness. The college sports world has changed. So rather than getting into nitty-gritty ugly stuff, tell us about what that balance is like for you now. It is a dramatically different world than the one that especially those older among us started in. Where do you find the joy? What is the fun factor, even as you're managing just an entirely new set, kind of the cans of worms, so to speak? Let's start with Coach Oliver and work our way down. Sorry, Coach.
Well, dealing with these young men, and it's been tough this last year, and for coaches as well as these young people, and we've done everything we can, try to make it as easy as possible for them, but it works both ways. It's been tough for me and my staff to get through COVID, and you're not around people like Coach said, and they just bring a sense of joy and peace, to me and my staff as well. So just being around those young men with those energy, and we navigate through issues together. And I love my team, and I love being around those young guys.
I was sitting around last spring pouting because our world's changed. And I left TV to come back to coach, and I couldn't coach. We couldn't see our players, we couldn't see our coaches, we couldn't see each other. And that's not the way this is supposed to work. And then you see people losing their jobs, you see people dying, you see people that couldn't eat. And I saw people that couldn't feed their children. And I can't think of anything any worse. So I asked Sally one night, why did we do this? Maybe this was a mistake. And she said, no, maybe you're supposed to lead. Maybe you're supposed to stand up. Maybe you're supposed to help people. Maybe you're supposed to help these guys because their families are struggling. And what I'll say is the 5 guys at this table are all really good men. They care about what's right. They care about their families. They're good husbands. They're good fathers. And what we do this for is for the kids. And there's nothing better than to mentor kids. So at Texas, Coach Royal was dying. He was a 3-time national championship coach, and the stadium was named after him. And he was at his last game, and he didn't know where he was. He didn't know the name of the stadium, but he always remembered every player's name that came to see him. So don't ever forget, folks, that this is about players, and it's about what we do for them, trying to mentor them, and that's the joy that we have out of this at the end of the day.
Well said, to just play on that theme, something that occasionally ESPN asks to do it on television, but something that you really don't see. You guys are aware of the stars that we have from time to time, but when you're able to get a senior non-scholarship player and let him know with his team that he has earned a scholarship, see the joy on that youngster's face, but more importantly, his teammates' faces, and them love on him and celebrate. It doesn't get any better than that, right? That's what it's all about. It is about the players.
This summer we went back to Montana 20 years ago. I was a part of the staff that was on a national championship team. And so they're having a reunion this fall, and I couldn't go because we have a game. And so I went back, and I just emailed a bunch of the players and just said, hey, Sarah and I are going to be back. I don't know if anyone's around. Here's where we'll be. Here's the dates. Let me know. And so, about 3 weeks later, they sent me a deal and got there. And I was a DB coach at that time. My 4 starting DBs and our nickel said, Coach, we're going to be here for 2 days to meet you. We rented a pontoon boat, floated to Whitefish Lake for a day, and just listened to them talk about the stories of our time together when I was coaching them. And as a head coach, we don't coach positions anymore. And it really brought me back to the purity of the game. And Sarah and I just sat there, and they left, and she looked at me, and she goes, that's why you do it. These guys are now doctors and lawyers, and they're very successful. She's like, you were with those guys 2 years, and every single story was like the greatest moment of their life. And so it's about the players, like Max said. And we love these kids. We go through a lot more than y'all know with them. And so the minute we get a step away from our office, put our cell phones in our locker and coach football with these guys and help them, to me, that is just the best 2 to 3 hours of the day that I get.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a little bit of a broken record, but, you know, they're right, you know, it's, you know, you do a lot of things in our job, and there's a lot of it that you have to do, don't have anything to do with football and things like that, but, you know, the best 2 to 3 hours a day, each day, are the days, or the time you spend with the kids, whether it's, you know, on the practice field, or in a meeting room, or just sitting and talking to them one-on-one in your office, because, you know, really, you know, that's what motivates you, that's what gives you the enjoyment of the job. You know, all the other stuff you deal with, you know, to get that time with the players. But I think we're all blessed to have, you know, the teams that we have, and I think we all would feel the same way about our kids. And, you know, they're an extension of our own biological family. You know, they're family to us.
As we wrap